You know, when you use an app on your phone or some of these new AI tools, have you ever stopped to think about the invisible choices that went into building them? Behind every single piece of software, engineers are making these constant, hidden trade-offs that affect everything: speed, cost, and yeah, even your security. Today, we're going to pull back that curtain and take a look.
All right, so where does this all start? Well, let's begin with a classic dilemma, one that developers face right at the very beginning of a new project. It's a perfect way to understand this whole idea of fundamental choices.
So on one hand, you've got something like Supabase. Think of it as a complete toolkit. It's got a managed database, authentication, storage, the whole shebang. It's built so you can get up and running and start building features like right away. Then on the other hand, you have something like AWS Lambda. This is a super powerful but much more specialized tool. It's like a single, flexible building block, but you have to build all the architecture around it yourself. So it's that classic choice. Do you want the all-in-one platform or the super flexible component?
Now, this idea of picking the right building block, it becomes even more critical when we start looking at the infrastructure that's powering all the modern AI we're seeing. Let's dig into a really foundational piece of that puzzle.
We're talking about vector databases. Now, these are not your grandpa's databases. They're specifically designed to understand meaning. So instead of just matching exact keywords, they do something called semantic search, which means they can find data that's conceptually similar. Honestly, this is the magic behind so many of the powerful AI tools that we're all using every single day.
And believe me, their impact is huge. They're the engine behind recommendation systems that know exactly what you want to watch next, and they make search engines feel like they can read your mind. They also power a really cool technique called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG. It's a fancy term, but it just means it lets large language models pull in fresh, relevant info to give you much better answers. So yeah, this tech is pretty much everywhere.
But here's the catch. As these incredibly powerful databases start getting used inside big companies, holding all sorts of sensitive data, a massive new challenge pops up. And it brings us right back to our main theme, a critical, high-stakes trade-off. But this time, it's all about security.
Seriously, think about it for a second. Let's say you have one single database with information for HR, for finance, and for engineering. How do you make absolutely sure that an engineer can't see confidential salary data, or that someone in finance can't get a peek at top-secret engineering plans? That's the million-dollar question.
So until pretty recently, there were basically two solutions, and frankly, both of them were flawed. The fast and expensive way was to just create a totally separate database for every single user. It's super fast for sure, but all that duplicated data means your memory costs go through the roof. Then there's the cheap and slow approach. You use one shared database, but you filter the results after you do the search. This saves a ton of memory, but it's painfully slow. You had to make a choice: speed or cost.
And this quote just nails the problem. Researchers from Georgia Tech, Duke, and Microsoft called it a fundamental trade-off. You either had low latency with crazy high memory costs, or you had low memory costs with terrible latency. You were stuck between a rock and a hard place. It was a classic engineering dilemma with no good answer.
That is, until a new, really clever solution called Honeybee came onto the scene. Honeybee is a dynamic framework that was designed to find a middle way, a balanced approach that just elegantly sidesteps this entire trade-off.
So the key insight behind Honeybee is actually a pretty common security model you see in big companies, role-based access control, or RBAC. The idea is, instead of trying to manage permissions for thousands of individual employees, companies just create a few dozen roles, like HR manager or junior engineer, and then they assign permissions to those roles. So instead of saying, Alice can see this, you say, all HR managers can see this. This creates a really neat structure that, it turns out, Honeybee can totally take advantage of.
So here's how it works. First, Honeybee looks at all these roles and permissions. Then, it turns the whole thing into a mathematical puzzle to find the absolute perfect balance between search speed and memory use. From there, it figures out the smartest way to split the data up into these overlapping indexes. And that last step is the real magic. It strategically duplicates some of the data, just enough to make searches lightning fast for every role, but without that massive memory cost of the old way. It just finds that perfect sweet spot.
So, does it work?
Oh yeah. The results are kind of stunning. According to the research paper, Honeybee can get query speeds up to 13.5 times faster than that old cheap and slow method. And it does that while only increasing memory use by a tiny factor of 1.24. I mean, it basically gives you the speed of the expensive approach with nearly the efficiency of the cheap one. The best of both worlds.
And all of this brings us right back to where we started.
What Honeybee shows us on a really deep technical level is the same exact principle we saw at the very beginning. The art of great engineering is really just the art of navigating these complex trade-offs.
That choice we talked about between an all-in-one platform like Supabase and a flexible piece like AWS Lambda, well, that's just a high-level version of the exact same puzzle Honeybee is solving for data security. It's all about finding that right balance between simplicity, power, cost, and performance.
So I guess the final thought I want to leave you with is this. As our technology gets exponentially more powerful, are these trade-offs we have to make actually getting any simpler? Or are we just uncovering deeper, more complex, and frankly, more interesting puzzles to solve along the way? What do you think?